Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Starting with the name of Allah, the Merciful, the Beneficent. I hope you are all fine. You must have gone through my first talk on the subject of health system in Pakistan. You must have realized that we are not going through a organized or a synchronized health system. Rather, it is a haphazard sort of an effort from different sides and sort of a programming from different sides, which sometimes is wholeheartedly implemented, and most of the time it is half-heartedly implemented. The role of the health managers, and particularly the masters or the masters of philosophy of the public health, is increasing day by day. Now you must realize that actually the health policy or the health plans or the health systems should follow the disciplined programming, designing and overhauling of the system. First, we have to see that all the stakeholders should have a say in designing a program or in planning the system, health system for the people of the country or of the people of the province. Then we have to see the opinion of the end user. The end user is the patient in this health policy, and unfortunately the patient or the general public have no say in designing this or any type of the health system program. Vertical programs or other programs, they have no say, and that is where the problem is. So the role of the health managers and role of the postgraduates in the subject of public health or the public health specialists, their role is increasing day by day, and they have to actually, wherever they are and wherever they go or whatever role they are given, they have to make the higher ups or the policy makers or the planning commission to realize that what sort of plan, what sort of system can be successful. Until and unless all the stakeholders are giving their opinion or have a say in this sort of designing a program, until and unless the end user, the role of end user is there, there is no guarantee of success of such a program. So the governance and oversight. First, we have seen the different health systems working in Pakistan. We have realized that almost all of the system could not reach to conclusion. Nowadays, the devolution plan that was designed, now again devolution plan is put in has been jeopardized, and again the provincial system has come, which is governing nowadays. So we have to see certain other aspects with the implementation and with the what I can say the planning of the health systems. Traditionally, the strategic policy role has been in hands of the planning commission and communicated through the instrument of 5 years development plans, typically developed on an ad hoc manner by key individuals. In health sector, the Ministry of Health has assumed a key role in policy formulation during the last several years. The last national health policy was developed in 2001 with health sector reforms as its theme. That is where we tried to change whole of the hierarchy, and the devolution plan was there. A devolved unit was wholly solely responsible for the health of the people in that district council, in that district, in that whole of the district. Unfortunately, that system still is not working nowadays. Only the provincial system works again because of political change and because of the local bodies election have not been done. The local bodies leaders are not there. The local body system does not work, and the EDO the post of the EDO has been changed with the director of services and district health officer, and the system again has been reversed. The health sector investments are viewed as part of the government's poverty alleviation plan. At that time, the poverty alleviation program was introduced, and it was thought that as the most of the the finance of the country, of the people, of the family, of the community, or of the individual has been spent on the health in the health sector. So if we improve the health of the society, of the people living in any devolved unit, or health of the people of the country, of the province, then we are in a position to alleviate poverty. And by doing so, if we keep on increasing the health of the people, we can save the people suffering from poverty. So the overall vision of for the health sector is based on health for all approach. Maybe in early 90s, it was a plan that the health for all will be implemented by the year 2000, that everybody living on the globe will get, that was the charter of the WHO, that everybody living on the globe will be able to achieve, will be provided the primary health care at their doorstep. I mean to say, the health services will be available, the primary health care services, the BHUs, RSCs, or the dispensaries will be available at their doorstep, or at least one facility will be available in one union council. The poverty reduction strategy as well as the National Health Policy 2001 recognizes the need for equity in the healthcare, whereby broader social sector development programs and health specific interventions are being undertaken to address the issue. Lack of absence of information at the district, provincial or federal levels, and lack of commitment to translate evidence into policy inhibits evidence-based decisions making and leave room for arbitrary and informal policy making that is often tinged with personal preferences. That is where the problem is. The feedback was not there, the knowledge could not be collected from the end user, there was no say of the patient, there was no role of all the stakeholders, all the people implementing the policies, they were not called in. Only the people sitting in Islamabad, sitting in the planning commission, sitting in the health secretariat, they decide and they implement the policies, and the result is all, if not all, more than 50% of the failure in the implementation of the policies and the good outcomes of the implementations of the policies. So that is where the public health people are required. Public health people are required. They have to interfere and to convince our higher ups, the decision makers, that the role of the stakeholders, all the stakeholders and the end user has to be increased. Formal mechanisms for reviewing and revisioning of health policy were never developed on national level. The National Health Policy Unit was established with the explicit aim of providing evidence-based policy advice to the Federal Ministry of Health and build capacity of the ministry in policy analysis and reforms, but it does not provide for open stakeholders input or dialogues. Only the information is collected, which may not be true, and the system, as no system was working at that time. Nowadays it is a health information system is working, but still I don't know how much of it is true, but at that time no health system was working, and the result is that unfortunately only the little knowledge from different sources directed used to be viewed and what I can say used as the solid evidence to go for further policy making. Until recently, no specific forums existed to facilitate dialogue between all stakeholders for health decisions, and no role of the end user, that is the patient or the general public. The recently launched 2005 Pakistan's Health Policy Forum is the only forum of its sort that provides a non-partisan platform for a stakeholder dialogue on policy making, health policy and planning issues. Health legislation in Pakistan is relatively a new public policy area, and with the exception Drug Act 1976, most ordinances were promulgated only recently, and a wide array of new initiatives, programs, legislative measures are currently being introduced at the federal level, provincial level and the district levels. Key health regulatory bodies include Obviously, when we know all the health systems, then obviously where are the key regulatory bodies? So first of all, it is the Pakistan Medical and Dental Council, Pakistan Nursing Council, Council of Homeopathic, Council of TIB. Decentralization via devolution of the powers to the grassroots level has been the major thrust to reforms under the poverty reduction or poverty alleviation strategy. Health care is now a devolved subject. The provincial government has taken a number of steps to ensure that public health delivery mechanisms work efficiently at the district level and below. The administrative and financial powers and responsibility of the primary healthcare services delivery is now shifted from the provincial governments to the district governments. There is also a considerable momentum towards granting greater managerial and financial autonomy to the tertiary government hospitals, especially in the province of Punjab and KPK, to improve the quantity and quality of services with poor sharing equitably the benefits without large increase in financial burdens. You can say that the DDO powers or the purchase powers has been given to the heads of the different hospitals. The devolved units are working, but still the overall control is of the provincial government. The provincial government provides them budgets, provincial government allows them, but the DDO powers have been shifted to the heads of the purchase capacity, or the decision making has been shifted to the heads of the institutions working in different devolved units or in districts. So that may be helpful in increasing the services to the people of the society. This decentralization is still in early stages, and it will be some years before full implementation of the political, fiscal and administrative reform produces results. This government is again determined for decentralization. They are also stressing on the local bodies' commitment and devolution devolution units to work independently, but still the overall control is of the provincial governments. The devolution, I must discuss it again. What this system is: the Health Management Information System (HMIS) was comprehensively revised in Pakistan in early 90s, and it now covers more than 117 districts. The HMIS data flow directly from the peripheral health facilities to the district and federal levels. The dispensaries provide dispensaries and outreach units facilities provide the outreach services. Information from the Prime Minister Program LHW is collected at the BHU level, and the BHU provides the information to the RSCs level, and RSCs provide to the district level. So by doing so, all the information has been shifted. It is designed to provide information on service-related indicators, information on the status of the instruments and equipments, and it also provides information by age on 18 priority diseases. So the scope of the current information system is, however, limited only to the first level care facilities, and no data in patient hospitals, private facilities, not from the health facilities other than provincial departments of the health, and has been provided or has been captured. So as a result of that, maybe the true picture is not there, but still this information system has worked a lot, has helped a lot to the Ministry of Health and to the Planning Commission to design further health programs. A parallel community based on information system has also been developed in 1994, which is functioning under the National Program for Family Planning and Primary Health Care. In addition, there are several other information systems specific to the needs of the vertical programs such as EPI, tuberculosis, AIDS and malaria, etc., which are not integrated into HMIS system. The health information system, health system research in Pakistan has remained a neglected area. Research has been a very much important aspect and has been an important area, but unfortunately it has been neglected area in this part of the world. there is no evidence that decision makers are aware of the relevant national and international health system research and other experience related to improving health outcomes of the poor. Neither they know that the programs implemented could not be successful. Why, and if successful, then what was the reason? Neither is any evidence that health systems research actually feeds into the national policy. The Pakistan Medical Research Council is supposed to provide leadership and guidance for health systems research and be an effective focal point for all health related research. So that is all from now, and next time we shall see the healthcare finance and expenditures. So far we conclude our talk on the subject that the different systems have been working. Devolution plan was decided in 2001, implemented up to 2005, but still has been jeopardized. The provincial system is again working. The role of the end user is not there in policy making. The planning commission decides different programs, but still they do not have complete data from different deep parts of the province or of the union councils or of the districts. The districts given independence, but not all. The health facilities at the district level or the district headquarter hospitals or the tertiary care hospitals being given the independence, the DDO powers, purchase powers, other powers, but still they are under the hand of the provincial government. So all these systems promulgated and sort of a mixed type of program is working in this country. That is why, unfortunately, the design programs programs do not achieve this success, because role of the say of the all stakeholders is not there, and there is no role of the end user. Now I say goodbye, and I continue with the same topic next time. Thank you very much.